Alright, let's see here. Invoice, Rip You Off Lube Inc. Oil change, 1999. Alright. Front brakes. What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Uh-uh. Today's fun project, Honda Accord front brake problems. Let's find out what's going on. Seems that the oil change place says the right front pads are down to 10% and the other side is, I don't know yet because I didn't look. So let's check it out. We'll take the wheel off. I got my new tripod set up now, so hopefully that'll work out good. Let's take a quick peek. Let's see what we can see. Alright, pull the wheel, see if there's anything obvious. What the hell? What are you doing here, dude? It's chaos. Uh-oh. That means there's problems. He likes when stuff goes wrong. Oh, dude, I wish you weren't in there. I hope we haven't been sabotaged. Alright, let's take a closer look. Alright, so we're over here by the caliper. And here's the pad. Right down in here. It looks like we've only got about 1/8 of an inch. On the outside anyway. I'm going to take the caliper off next. The rotor has got a lot of grooving in it. And there's a lip. You can feel how worn it is in here. On both sides. So this rotor's pretty much shot. Let's compare it to the other side. Alright, we're on the driver's side, left front. And looks like we got about 60% of pad left here. This rotor is worn a little bit. I can feel it. There's a ridge here. But it doesn't have the grooves that the other side has. So pull the caliper. Let's see what we got. Alright, so I got a 12mm X-head socket. Let's pull the caliper. What we want to check for that uneven wear, it may not be a bad caliper. These slides could be frozen. And we'll check that. We'll see if they're working. It's the slide bolts that the caliper floats on. So if that thing's frozen, the caliper won't be able to move back and forth like it should. Prematurely wears out the pad. So let's see what we got. There's the caliper. Zoom in here. Oops. There we go. Set that over here. Just out of the way. And these are these pins. This one's moving freely. See that? This one, it's pretty stiff, but not bad. It's moving. I'm going to take these apart. I'll take the boots off. Like I showed in my other video on the Subaru, I showed how to replace these and how to clean them, and if they're frozen, how to get them out. So check that out if you need that kind of info. Let's look into this caliper a little more. It's all the way extended. Here's the piston. We need to see why that's getting hung up. Might as well pull the pad while we're here. Let's see that. Yeah, it's pretty worn down. Not much left. But it wore even on the other side also. Got the dial indicator set up. I'm going to spin the rotor. And it has very little deflection. So it's not warped. It's on this side anyway. I'll check the other rotor. Side. This rotor's got too many grooves in it. I'm not sure if the camera picks that up, but you can see they're pretty deep. So that's what we're going to go with. We'll get this baby back on the road. All right, to get these rotors off on the Hondas, they're held in with these bolts. There's 2 Phillips head bolts, and they're usually pretty tight. So I use an impact driver and place that in there. Let's see what we can do. When I hit this, it'll turn counterclockwise to get that screw out. Let's hope it works. I see it moving, so it's broken loose. That one is anyhow. Let's try this one. Push in with my hand, pushing in this way tight while I strike the back here. There it is, that one's out. Beautiful. Zoom in a little bit, you guys can see better. Because these can get rusty and they can be a real bear to get them out. So there's one, and here's 2. Now we'll have to take off the caliper mounting bracket. This right here. We're going to remove this. I'll show you that in a second. Now if these rotors are stuck, this one's not stuck. But what you would do, sometimes these will get stuck to the hub, frozen stuck. Take your hammer. If you're getting rid of the rotor, it doesn't matter where you hit it. But if you plan on resurfacing it or reusing it, don't hit it here. Don't hit here. Right along this. You hit right in here. See all that rust dust? That'll break it free. You can spray penetrant in here, like liquid wrench or PB blaster, stuff I like, and soak it, and that'll break it loose. This one's loose, so I guess Chaos wasn't around for that one. Fortunately, right? We don't want to see him. See, he's gone anyway. Good. All right, let's get this bracket off. I got to get a couple bolts out back here. Let me shut the camera and get a 2 bolts holding the bracket in. Got one here and one right up here. So let's get this on there. Let's break it free. We got one down here. Hammer time. Okay. There's one. There's 2. They're the same size, so you don't have to worry about which goes in which. And here comes the bracket. There it is. So what I'll do now is that this is out. We'll clean up these pins. We'll pull these off. There's a good time to show it. I pull back the rubber boot, pull up. There it is. We'll get this all re-greased. Put some anti-seize. Those fit right in here. And then this just snaps around. If these boots are ripped, you can get replacements for them. You don't want water getting in there. And then where the pads actually ride, some light on it, right down in here, I'll clean all that out real good, and that'll get a little bit of high temp grease before this goes back in. Help those pads slide. All right, so our rotor comes off now. And makes a good paperweight, because that's about all it's worth. Get to the next step. In the next scene, we can tell the caliper isn't frozen because the piston, after it expands out, very slightly comes back in. So we know it's not staying constantly stuck or frozen. We're at the driver's front where that one pad was 60%. I just compressed the caliper with a clamp and stepped on the pedal, put some pressure on here. See if you can see anything right here. What I saw was air bubbles. Let's see if there's still air in that line. There you go, there's a little one. There's air in this caliper. That's why we had the uneven wear. These weren't bled properly. That's it. New pads and one rotor. I want to simplify as best I can what's going on. This is the passenger side. This is the side they said the caliper was bad on. It's not. The pads were worn evenly. That's fine. Time for them to be changed. No problems there. The rotor was worn. That's changed out. Bad pads. Driver's side. All they saw was the outside pad, which is this one with the 60% left in it. They didn't take the caliper off to see that this was worn normally, like the other side. So the problem came down to the air that was trapped in the caliper. It wasn't able to squeeze like it should have. So that's why this did not wear down as much as the inside pad. So now that we know what the problem is, and we know we don't have a bad caliper, definitely didn't have any issues on the right side that they said was bad. So that's what to look for, and now we know. The new rotor is in, the new brake pads are on, the hydraulic system's been bled. We just got to put on the tire or wheel, torque it down, and take it for a test drive. Here's the point of the video. Was this $20 oil change guy trying to rip us off? At 500 bucks, I think so. Are all $20 oil change guys rip-off artists? Probably not. But anyway, now you've got the ammunition. You know how it's supposed to go. You can take it from there. I'm just glad that Chaos has left the building. He's gone. We don't like being sabotaged. I want to thank you guys for subscribing, liking, and commenting. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take it easy.